I'm back, boys, and with that, I'm here to give you a 2-in-1 banner guide. Not only I want to talk about the new Nurse Erika and the Axel Angel squad, I also want to talk real quick about the Forbidden Union banner because it's still there. You can still pull on it, and I want to give you my opinion on if you have Quartz, which banner you should pull on, or if you just should save for upcoming future banners, because there's a really interesting twist that's happening right now. So I want to talk about it and give you all the infos that I have, what it potentially mean, and what I would recommend to you. With that out of the way, I'm Katsuma Gaming. Let's jump right into this. And as usual, if you want to support this channel, feel free to like, subscribe, comment down below what banner you pulling on or what banner that I'm talking about you are the most excited about. And you know, if you want to support me even more, maybe become a member to get early access and pull rights and all other cool features. Okay, now we jump into my beautiful Encyclopedia as usual, linked in my YouTube profile, top right banner. There should be the links in there, or just go to links in my YouTube profile and you should find it there. The beautiful Encyclopedia is still up to date. Mostly some JP stuff I need to do because I was gone for 2 weeks, so I hopefully can fix that soon. But let's jump right into the banner and the new unit, and we're starting of course with Nurse Erika. First things first, she's a permanent unit, and with that most of you probably are already in the skip train, and I think that's a fair point. But she is still a pretty good kit, and I want to talk about why she could be potentially good for you, and if you should maybe use your 4-star tickets on her or save them for the future. First things first, she has a double random hit that deals 130% damage and provides your team with a tier 2 agility boost for 12 seconds on an 18-second cooldown, so you need 6 seconds of CDR to have it up the whole time. And then she has a single target physical attack skill that deals up to 184% damage if you are above 70% HP, and it provides a tier 2 rash rate also for 12 seconds, but on a 15-second cooldown, so way lower and way easier to maintain. So why is this Erika good and why you should potentially use tickets for? I mean, the why she's good is pretty obvious. She has a speed boost and a rash rate, 2 of the most broken skills in the game, and with that, really cool to have. Keep in mind, our current dark lineup is pretty mediocre, I would say. One thing first, we are missing collaboration units, and second part is most of the good dark units that we have are magical units, not really physical. So in the physical side, really lacking on cool new units that you can use. So I think if you struggle on the physical side, she might be a good pickup that you can use. But should you use tickets on her? I'll talk about it after the second banner, because I wanted to take a look into future banners, and with that also talk about when you should use tickets. So let's just continue with the next banner, which is Halloween Leah, that you can currently pull on the Forbidden Union banner. She is a limited unit because she's a Halloween unit, makes sense. I don't even talk about the passive trait, it's always the same. Unless I talk about it, just think of it as the same, doesn't matter. The first skill is a single target physical attack skill that deals up to 228% damage, that provides a tier 1 physical attack buff EX for 12 seconds on a 21-second cooldown, which is a really long cooldown. And the second skill is a part tier 1 dark damage buff EX that deals 194% damage if you are above 70% HP or above, and has a 10-second duration on an 18-second cooldown. And yes, I am the HP missing part here is missing. I probably added in later. So another good physical dark unit. I wouldn't say she's that great per se. She has cool buffs, but both of them are just tier 1 buffs. And if you just think of a team that you use, for example, the Erika and this Leah, you really struggle with the uptime of these buffs because you pretty much need in 8 or 9 seconds of CDR to spam the skills off cooldown, or like have the buffs up almost all the time. We actually need 10 seconds of CDR to loop both skills properly. And even though you have the Leah ulti for CDR, Erika doesn't provide that. And with that, it's actually somewhat hard to, you know, have the buffs up the whole time. Unless, of course, you have another unit that provides you with CDR. but I don't really think we have that good fitting dark unit for that right now. I mean, you kind of want to have a buffer. So for example, Halloween, Christmas Elisa could work here, but she doesn't have CDR. You see, it's hard to keep the buffs up. And with that, she's hard to use and not that great, but still a solid unit. We talk about the tier list placements in a second. And yes, the tier list has updated all the September units, all the October units, sorry. I'm late. And yeah, she's a good unit, but if you have Yunyun already, I don't think it's worth to pull on a banner for this unit alone. If you don't have Yunyun and don't have her, maybe it might be a good idea to pull on a banner. Again, more on that after the last unit. That is, of course, the big one that you can still pull for Forbidden Yunyun. Yes, I'm still the opinion she's one of the best fire units, if not the best fire unit that we have, thanks to everything she has in her kit. First things first, a Forbidden ulti is an AoE magic attack skill, deals 245% damage to all enemies, provides your team with a tier 2 magical attack buff for 8 seconds, and while the field is active, so the whole 8 seconds duration, every hit deals on-hit damage as well. So the additional fixed fire damage is there, and with that she's really, really strong. But that's not all. Her passive trait is really, really great. She has 6% magical attack up to 12% if you are above 70% HP or more. So again, you want to keep a unit healthy. It's really worth it for the bonus damage. Her basic is a normal fire basic, nothing too crazy, but it's expected on forbidden units. The first skill is a 2 times random magic attack skill that deals 185% damage 2 times. So a 370 damage skill, pretty good. That gives herself a tier 2 fire damage buff for 16 seconds on a 21-second cooldown. So the moment you have 5 seconds of CDR, you can keep the buff up the whole time, which is pretty doable, I would say, in fire. And her second skill is an AoE magic attack skill with HP condition to deal up to 152% damage and provides your team with 4 seconds of CDR on a 20-second cooldown. So the really cool thing here is she works really, really well with her ulti because she has an AoE skill that procs the bonus damage. She, of course, has a random hit that procs the bonus damage. She has a lot of damage itself in her kit. And if you have AoE, she's just that great. But even in single target with the double random hit, she can still pump out a lot of damage. And the really cool thing is we, of course, have a lot of great fire units that just can go along with her. We have the Fes Kameko, we have Megumines that can benefit, we have Funidodo. There will be more in the future, so she is really, really strong and just gets stronger with better teammates around her. And she is a must pull if you haven't pulled already. So how does the tier list look like, the updated one, and how do the units rank? First things first, Forbidden Yunyun is of course in the meta units on element tier. I was debating if I should push her up to the top units tier. The only problem I have with that is I don't think she has any off element use case, and with that I think it's best to just keep her in the meta units on element tier. Erika is also up here because she's probably the best physical dark unit that we have, and with her we also don't need the anniversary Aqua as our 2-2 speed boost provider for dark, so that's an upgrade. If you have her, you don't need to use the Aqua anymore. And last but not least, the Leah is only in the strong units tier because she doesn't have much competition as a physical dark unit, but she's not that great either, as talked about before, so I don't really think she's that great to have. So with all of that in mind, what does my pull Prio looks like, and do you should pull more, do you should use Forza tickets or not? I want to talk a quick look at this stock here, at the banner timeline. And yes, I'm at the JP banner timeline, because I want to say something here real quick. If we take a look at the JP timeline, we see the next unit after the current Nurse Erika should be Nurse Chris, and then the 3.5 anniversary fantasy festival with Fantasy or Fantastic Iris, I don't want to call it, and Fast Mitsurugi. Afterwards, Miko 2 and 3, and then Nurse 4 with Amy as the last unit in the batch. But that is not what's happening. That is absolutely not what is happening. And from that, I actually need to switch really quick to the Discord because I was actually surprised by that when I saw it, and I want to talk about it. Sorry. And that is this one here, the upcoming units for October. We can see Chris is coming. Afterwards, they teased Amy, and that's it. That's it. We take a quick look at the content calendar. We can also see, yes, my face is blocking a bit, sorry. But we just started the first one, then we have the next Axel Angel Squad thing, and then the next Axel's Angel Squad thing. So yeah, there is no sides of the two missing limited banners, aka the 3.5 Fes banner and of course the Miko banner. What does it mean? I don't know. I seriously don't know what's going on here and why they're moving the banners around. Could it mean we just get them back to back in November? Maybe. Do we skip them? I would be surprised, but I don't know, maybe. The Miko banner was for Golden Week in JP, and the other one was Celebrate Fes banner, but so far we never skipped them, so I would be really surprised. And yeah, I only have two theories. First thing is they want to give global players more time to relax by just give them a month of permanent units, because all of the units I just mentioned are permanent. And then we just get a whole month of limited banners with the Fes banner, with the Miko banner, and potentially even afterwards the first Senta banner that should come. Or cope here, that we maybe in November also get a collaboration banner. This is not confirmed. I have no clues whatsoever. This is pure speculation, but these are like the only reasons that I could think of why they would potentially delay banners. But yeah, with that, here is what I would currently suggest you to do. If you don't have Forbidden Yunyun, if you still miss Forbidden Yunyun, I think throwing the pulls to her right now is a fair thing to do. If you have her, save your Quartz, don't pull anymore, don't care about Leah. And then the next thing I would do is I would wait for the Gris banner and then potentially use some 5 pull tickets or 4-star tickets. Because since the last unit we got some, with those two we have some good permanent units that you can snack from that. If you're missing some older good permanent units, that's also a great point. The only other thing that might be worth saving for could be the release of Rain. But the big problem with Rain's release is she will be bundled with a limited Rain as well, so you kind of want to pull in the banner anyway, so I'm not really sure if it's worth to save your 4-star tickets for that. So I think this might actually be a pretty decent spot to pull for. Amy, I'm already telling you now, is not good. You can easily skip her and ignore her. I wouldn't wait for her. So yeah, if you want to use 4-star tickets, I think it's best to wait for the Chris. And maybe you can get Erika along with that. And worst case, sack the current Dark Arena that is coming eventually, which is also something that is kind of funny for me. We currently have actually the Dark Arena. We then get a filler Water Arena before we get the Chris Arena. Then we get a filler Fire Arena before we finally get the Wind Arena for the Amy, I think. And yes, you can see that, but that is what it is. So yeah, if you sack the current Dark Arena, you can then pull for Chris already before the Light Arena drops, and then Fang Quest grind her and ignore the next banner afterwards. And by that point, we hopefully know what is coming next month, and we have some info there. If I have some info, I will of course, as usual, share with all of you. But yeah, I think that's the best infos I can give you for now. TLDR here. Forbidden Yunyun, great unit, pull if you haven't already. Halloween Leah is fine, but not a must-have. And the new Erika is good, but permanent, so only use 4-star tickets or 5 pull tickets if you want to. Otherwise, save your tickets for other good units, like for example, the Nurse Chris that is coming up. Okay, I think 50 minutes roughly for 2 banner guide is a pretty good time. So that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck with your pulls. See you all in the next one. Bye.